So I'm here today with Interim's President and CEO, Anders Engdahl. Anders, we have left the pandemic behind us, but we're also experiencing very dramatic developments in the Ukraine. How would you summarize the first quarter? Does this affect Interim, or how is the market environment, and how has the developments been for us as a company?
First of all, the war in the Ukraine is a horrible humanitarian crisis that affects millions of people. And our thoughts and hearts are with those affected. I think from a business perspective, this has no direct impact on Interim, as we have no business operations in Russia or the Ukraine. And I think there will be indirect effects from a macro perspective that will affect all companies in Europe, of course. If we look at the first quarter, we saw a very strong delivery, despite it being a seasonally slower quarter. And now, post-pandemic, we are again seeing a stronger seasonal pattern with a softer Q1 and Q3 and a stronger Q2 and Q4. So in that context, we're very pleased with the results. And we're also seeing that the current macro environment is likely to continue to drive demand for our services and to be a support for continued growth of the business. We also continue to deliver on our key strategic priorities, organic growth and the transformation of Interim, the ONE Intrum transformation program. And I'm very happy to see that now all the three segments contributed positively to the 10% cash revenue growth that we saw in the first quarter. If you're looking at the segments, starting with CMS, we've seen improving business conditions. We see the new inflow of cases is increasing, and we've seen it particularly in the utility segment, but across many of the segments now. And it's also a very strong quarter from a new client signings point of view. We've had obviously this signing of the cooperation with Sainsbury's Bank in the UK that we talked about a few months ago, but also a number of other large signings, which will contribute to the positive development of the segment going forward. In the strategic markets, we saw another quarter of very strong performance. And we're happy to see that all three markets now positively contributing. I would like to highlight the very positive development in Italy, where we are now have operationally turned to a very positive trajectory operationally in Italy. And we've also broadened the franchise. So now if we look at the assets that we're managing in Italy, about 60% are with a broader set of clients than our partner Intesa Sanpaolo. In Spain, we lost the contract for Sareb, and that will negatively affect our revenue trajectory later this year, but it will not have any meaningful impact from a profit point of view. And instead, we are seeing a positive development across all the markets that will continue to drive the positive momentum in the segment. And finally, on the portfolio investment side, another very strong quarter. Our back book continues to deliver very strong performance, 110%, another quarter, I should say, over 110% performance versus active forecast. We see a growing pipeline of new opportunities, more portfolios coming for sale in the market, and a steady underwriting return environment. That is all supported by the very strong servicing franchise that we have that allows us to find and generate privileged opportunities as well as bilateral opportunities that supports the performance of the segment.
So Interim's purpose, leading the way to a sound economy, that is closely connected to our business, but also at the core of the sustainability agenda. What are the highlights for the first quarter from a sustainability perspective?
Sustainability remains a key priority for Interim. We have continued to make good progress towards our sustainability targets that we laid out at the Capital Markets Day in 2020. Which includes reducing our greenhouse gas emissions, which were substantially reduced during last year. We've continued to improve our client satisfaction, and we see a continued improvement in the employee engagement index. All very pleasing to see that progress. And you can read more about that all in the recently published annual and sustainability report. In the first quarter this year, we also developed a global sustainability policy that really clarifies both the governance, the responsibilities, and expectations in relation to our key stakeholders.
So we're almost halfway through the ONE Intrum transformation program that we launched on the Capital Markets Day 2020. How is that progressing?
We're making good progress, and the first quarter was another strong delivery from the transformation program team. It continues at full speed and will continue throughout this year and into next year. And just to highlight a few examples, in the front office project, we now have 16 markets connected to our global front offices. And we're managing approximately 17% of all calls globally there now. On the new operating platform, a big part of the transformation, we have 5 countries. We've recently onboarded Sweden to the common platform, and we also migrated a complicated secure portfolio in Greece. And we are expecting to add another 5 countries during this year, so we are in full preparations for that. We're also on track to deliver the 1 billion SEK of benefits and savings that we laid out at the Capital Markets Day, and that we are expecting to deliver in full run rate by the end of 2023. But I'm also very excited about the potential that we now see as we go through the program of applying advanced analytics and automation technology into our core systems and processes that will allow us to generate even more benefits above and beyond what we laid out so far as we extend the time frame into 2034 and beyond. So very exciting times.
Great. So looking ahead, what's your view on the macroeconomic development and also the development for Intrum as a company?
The current macro environment with increasing inflation, rising interest rates, and eroded consumer affordability will likely lead to increasing late payments in the economy. At the same time, we're seeing consumer credit is growing again post-pandemic, and that all combined makes our clients prepare for increasing volumes to send to servicing for companies like Interim during the second half of this year. At the same time, we are seeing continued strong new sales results and adding more clients to our platform. And that all combined makes us quite excited actually about the opportunity set going forward and the positive outlook. The 2 key priorities that we have, the organic growth and the transformation program, remain the same and will continue to remain the same. And that will all combined support the delivery of our financial targets by the end of this year and into 2023.
Great. Thank you so much, Anders.
Thank you, Anna.